All right, 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Let's turn this so I get a shift light. There we go. And we are ready to go. The only thing I don't like is the electronic e-brake, but I can live with it. Let's put it in R mode, and we are ready to go. So I didn't have any way to mount the camera in here other than sticking it on my head, so the video may not be super smooth, but you get the idea, and I'll try and do my best to show you how the car handles. I'm gonna hit a little back road, and it's fun and curvy. I do love the interior of this thing, and we're rocking the baby seats in the back, so it's practical and fun. Let's see, here we go. Another thing I can't really get over is how quiet it is. I like it for daily driving. It's nice to drive around town, but when you get on it, it's still pretty quiet. You hear more engine noise than exhaust noise. And if you have the radio going, sometimes it's hard to tell where your RPM's at without looking. Like that, I almost killed it right there, but that was a driver error, so my fault. The response is awesome on this car for having a turbo. Normally turbos have a little bit of lag, but the response feels almost like an NA engine. Honda did a very good job with keeping very good throttle response in this car. Before I drove this car, I kind of criticized the RPM, you know, not going up to 8,000 like a normal Type R, or 8,500 actually, but honestly, with the turbo kicking in so early, you really don't notice it. And unlike most turbo cars that die higher in the RPM, they lose a little bit of the, you know, the air. The turbo can't push as much, but on this car, it just keeps pulling all the way to redline. We're gonna be stuck behind a couple cars, but hopefully they'll turn off. I do have to say I really love these seats. They're comfortable enough to take road trips on, but they will definitely hold you in place. Okay, there we go. One's turning off. Oh, and the auto rev match on this is really, really, really good. I really like it. It took a little while to get used to not being able to heel towing, but the car does a great job with it. There's so much grip on this car. It's awesome. Suspension is amazing. It's not bouncy, it's not too stiff. In R mode, I wouldn't cruise around town. It is a little stiff to go on normal streets and stuff like that, but the sport mode is perfect for driving around town normally. But putting it in R sharpens the throttle. It sharpens the suspension, makes it stiffer, and everything turns red to let you know that the car has become a destroyer of front-wheel drive worlds. And another thing that's unusual for a Type R Honda is you don't have to rev it very high to get a lot of power out of it. The power seems to come in about 3,000 RPM on this car. As long as the turbo spools up all the way, it really gets going. Do a little pull here in a second, and there it is. So much confidence with this car because the grip is incredible. See, I'm still not used to the auto rev match, but when you do get used to it, it works brilliantly. We're gonna have an open road here as soon as this car turns off. Convenient. Thank you, sir. Alright. Get a little corners going in this thing. Oh, and it just grips. There is no understeer so far. It just does not let go in the front. Incredible grip. And traffic, more traffic. So much grip. Now, I don't know the car very well, so I'm not going to go full out, but man, I can tell you this thing, there's more left in it than I can get out on this road. And the brakes are so good. Those Brembos just, oh yes. Not many front-wheel drive cars that aren't heavily modded that can come out of a corner that way. Excellent brakes. bit of understeer, but I think that's because the road was pretty dirty right there. This is a tight one. Woo! And the torque on this car is just incredible. I can definitely say with confidence I'd have a hard time keeping up with this in my S2000. So good, those brakes. Oh my gosh. Here we go, we're on. Stayed super stable over that crest. The back end didn't get lively. Stayed nice and planted. Great. I love it. Obviously, this isn't an open road, so I'm not going to use the whole road around corners, especially in a car that is not mine, for that exact reason right there. I just got back from Lime Creek. This is the car. She is a beautiful car. And I just had a couple of final reflections on the car. The grip, incredible. The brakes, top notch. I mean, you really don't need anything more than that. It'll throw you in your seatbelt quite easily. The exhaust is a little quiet, but I can deal with that. That's no big deal. One of the things I really did like was how in R mode the steering stiffens up, so it feels really, really solid and really nice. Another thing that I had forgot to say is the shifter. The shifter's very smooth. I didn't get any issues with it. The rev matching all worked perfectly. What else have I left out? The suspension is really good. It doesn't crash or bang or anything like that. It handles the big car very well, very, very well. And as far as things I would change with the car, probably I would go with 18-inch wheels, a little bit wider, and some maybe 265 or 275 millimeter wide tires. Maybe something a little more track prepared, like some RE71Rs or something of that nature. Other than that, I really wouldn't do too much more to it. The Flash Pro is definitely going to be a good mod. Hopefully it gets rid of a little bit of the rev hang. When you put it in R mode, it gets rid of most of the rev hang, but there's still some left, and I think the Flash Pro will get rid of the rest of that and make it very, very responsive, like a Honda usually is.
So you used to hate the car when it first came out.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, at first I didn't like the car when it came out. I had a lot of issues with how it looked, and of course people were posting videos of it being beat by things it shouldn't be beat by. Granted, some drivers are not as skilled as others. I really think this car has a lot of potential. It's really fast, and I think it would do very, very well at the track. This car is definitely built to perform on a track, and it shows. But it's also very comfortable to drive around on the street every day in sport mode. Comfort mode is a little, you get a lot of throttle lag on comfort mode, and I mean, I know that's the way it's supposed to be, but it's just, it feels like a base model Civic when you drive it in comfort mode. So I would stay in sport most of the time, and then R for those fun rips like I did down Lime Creek. So those are my thoughts on the 2018 Honda Civic Type R. It's a wonderful car, and my friend letting me borrow it really changed my mind on the car. I really like it now, and I can live with the looks. At least of the back. I do like the front, but I can live with the looks because of the way the car performs and handles. And that's all I got to say about it.
Thank you.
Thanks. And then another thing was the attention this car gets is crazy. So many people, especially Subaru owners, like to rev at you and try and race you, but I still love you guys. Yeah, everybody likes the car. It got so many thumbs up. Women and men, old men, kids, everybody really seems to like the car. So it's definitely a looker from the front. I'll get over the back. I'll learn to live with it, but that's it.